So this is the area of Mrs. Weber's old plantation. This is where the Stillwell cemetery is, and this is where some of the Cherokee leaders are buried. But as you can see, it's very hard to read the tombstones. But this is the old section 1 of the cemetery, and so I'm assuming that this would be the area. Now, there's a Freemason symbol on this tombstone. A lot of the old tribal leaders had Masonic symbols on some of their tombstones. Sometimes the old native leaders were Masons, like Charles Journey Cake of the Delaware in Oklahoma, who's buried in Oklahoma. He was a Mason, and that was a result of some of the missions that were working with them. The missionaries themselves were Masons. And sometimes the Masons financed for the burial some of the natives, and they would put the Masonic symbol on the grave, on the headstone. So you see these old graves, it's hard to read the date. And there's graves here from 1820s. And so I don't know what there's a last name officer, where their grave would actually be. But this is the end of the trail. So back there on that road where earlier I made a video of that road marker that said end of the trail, it was that arrow pointing was for here, for this cemetery. And so here in this area of old section 1, Mrs. Weber's plantation, Stillwell Cemetery, is where some of the Cherokee leaders are buried that were on the Trail of Tears. But the exact location of the grave, I do not know, nor am I. But I'll walk around and see if I can find any of the graves. Should be from I have the pastor and his family with me that gave me a ride. A pastor from one of the churches there in Evansville, actually the church there in Evansville, gave me a ride out here. It's awfully a blessing. It's nice of them. And so you just can't read some of these can't read the date, the year. So in this cemetery, now here's a tree that's been cut. There's a pine tree. Read the. There it is.